defensive end. You've got to mix it up.
Shoni Schimmel was talking this week about how much they learned from the first meeting with Connecticut as Dolson tries for three. That by
alive. I don't understand defensively how you're not communicating where Mosqueda Lewis is on the floor. You've got to know and you got to talk about it.
Dolson rebounds the miss. They started out hitting 7 of their first 10 shots, did Louisville. They've only made 3 of their last 11. Stewart coming off the screen on the baseline. Hartley walked with it.
And look at that left hand. Dolson did a good job of playing that left hand and resulting in a turnover. 4 possession
turnovers here. Yep.
You know, you talk about giving yourself an opportunity for success. You got to give yourself an opportunity to get a shot up. You've got to give yourself an opportunity defensively, and when you do, you have to finish the play. And right now, Louisville on both ends not able to finish the play.
And let's see if that'll spark the Cards and their fans.
You also think about what Bria Hartley's been asked to do on the defensive end with the graduation of Kelly Ferris. Now, a lot of times, she's on the opponent's best player.
Yep.
Well, the crowd is certainly willing this team to a defensive stop.
Hartley got away from Hammond. That won't go. A 2 seed. And for the Ville, their first field goal there in a 9.5-minute stretch. Hartley gets the 2 points right back.
You see Uconn 9th in the American in offensive rebounds.
Probably because they don't miss a whole lot of shots.
That's true tonight. They have 13. Louisville, on the other hand, leads the league in offensive rebounds at 16.
Dolson around
against Dolson right there. They gave her a lot of room to drive it. She took that pull-up, which is not what the game plan was, but able to knock it down. You can tell that she's feeling really good about it right now.
Hammond.
6 points for Hammond. Each time she's been able to go left. She's been able to score to her left. We saw the second one a pull-up, but she's feeling pretty good right now.
Mosqueda Lewis with 3. That token pressure that you liked early on, Stephanie.
Yeah, I mean, this half-court trap, they're going to try to slow down Connecticut. They're going to try to keep them off balance, but when they can get a beat on it, that's when they're dangerous.
Boy, and that's a switch on her shot underneath. Dolson with a Connecticut team that is #1 in the country in assists, and the big girl picks. Man for the Cards. Stewart defended by Asia Taylor. Lay off of Smith and force her to make an outside shot.
Well, Louisville's getting good looks. They've got to be able to knock those shots down.
Stewart, no. Dolson. She'll try again and get a little closer and can't knock it down.
Louisville's expending so much energy trying to get that contact that they're rushing their shots. They're getting in the paint and they're not patient on the way of ball games, but you have to practice at a high level and you have to expect that high level every single possession, not just every single game, every possession. And that's another one of those little things that separates this program.
Louisville has made just 1 of its last 14 shots as Stewart is fouled out. And now Brianna running the floor with Hartley. And Bria will get it back out and reset. Approaching the 4-minute mark. On the drive, Hartley had that blocked out of bounds.
And you could see Shoni Schimmel telling Sarah Hammond, drive it, put it on the floor. Been successful in the paint. And that's one of the shots that Jeff Walz does like. He said, if we're driving it in there, we penetrate, we kick to an open shooter, we'll take that.
Dolson, Henderson, over the top of Dolson, couldn't get it to go, and it's not the look that Jeff Walz was looking for on his cheat sheet. Conference championship game, and then possibly again in the Louisville Regional during the NCAA tournament. You've always got to be ready for that geographic component. And that's why Louisville would like to win this game and go ahead and grab a 1 seed all their own.
Schimmel has attacked the paint, and the bigs just take one step in, get a layup. Don't fade away. And she's seeing that. You've got to be able to communicate that, but also go to your big after the play and say, hey, step up, get a layup. There's no need to fade.
Stewart working inside. No, the tip. Second chance won't go.
Here's senior knocking down big shots, keeping Louisville in this game.
Stewart backdoor, and she's fouled. Count the bucket.
Another offensive rebound. You cannot start the ball game with a turnover, and you certainly, if you dodge a bullet, can't give up another offensive possession.
Year. Of course, they did not play, obviously, Notre Dame during the regular season with the realignment this year.
Look, there are a lot of common themes between these two programs.
Yep.
Number one, very skilled players. Number two, very unselfish teams. These two teams lead the country in assists. Unselfish. Well, not only do you have to make that up by trying to front on the block, but you got to have better ball pressure. If you can make that easy pass, there's no way you can stop it one-on-one on the block.
Stewart, Dolson, and Stokes, a decided height advantage here tonight. And now they go with the big lineup, the three of them together. And it's Jefferson, the smallest one on the court. Hartley with a nice cut. Pull up, no. Weak side, Mosqueda Lewis with the...
But if you don't make contact, it doesn't matter.
Stewart, Hartley, Dolson, Mosqueda Lewis, and Jefferson for Connecticut. Missed an opportunity there with Dolson on the guard defending her. Hartley.
Keep going, those go-go gadget arms.
Third block of the night for her.
Uconn cracks the door open. Louisville not able to take advantage.
Stewart fouled before the shot.
The mantle, they'll go to this zone. It also makes it tough to put the ball on the floor and get in the paint with those long arms.
Danger zone 2 for any opponent. Uconn can take a 2-point lead and make it 12 in a hurry. Jefferson will try for 3, and she's got it.
You cannot beat the #1 team in the country if you don't take care of the details, if you don't do the little things.
Another opportunity for Connecticut. 4 on this trip up the floor. Dolson tried to give and go with Stewart, taking over against Cincinnati. She's their leading scorer right now. For Connecticut, they've got 6 triples. All 5 starters have scored, and they've assisted on 10 to 13 buckets.
And that's the difference in the way this game is being played right now. Connecticut moving the ball effective.
At a time when Schimmel is not on the floor, their best 3-point shooter. She's waiting to check back into the game. Stewart, backdoor from Dolson. And another trip. No.
You've got penetration by Bria Smith. She draws 2 defenders. You've got to move to an open area. Give her an outlet.
Yeah. Stewart off the bounce. Got it. Off balance and scoring.
Out of a timeout. Each time Louisville never made a penetrating pass, never got a foot in the paint, passed around the perimeter and rushed a shot at the end of the shot clock.
Mosqueda Lewis short. Single season record for Connecticut. And here they go again with the three frontline bigs playing together.
And you see how Louisville has to match up. Shoni Schimmel is going to have to guard whichever big goes to the perimeter.
6'3", 6'4", 6'5" now along the front line, and a hard foul on the drive by Hartley. It's coming out of the locker room, as Louisville has had some good looks but unable to knock it down. Stewart, tough shot.
Louisville comes out of the...
7 of their first 9 shots they hit through the first timeout, and they've only made 10 baskets since.
And you can see with each one they miss, gets a little bit tighter in that release. Second guessing those shots.
Of course, both McCautry and Schimmel guiding their teams to an appearance in the national championship game. Louisville was there last year, coming up short against Connecticut.
Each time you force a contested shot that they miss and you give up an offensive rebound, it just takes the wind right out of you. You work so hard, not found an offensive rhythm, and a lot of times when they get indecisive, they stop and they stand. There's no movement. That is not a recipe for success on the offensive end of the floor.
Mosqueda Lewis does not have a field goal here in the second half after she had 3 triples in the first. Now they're down to 5 on the shot clock. Stewart will look to create. She'll pull up and hit it.
Making all of the hustle plays.
And remember what Gino said, our offense may need to win it tonight. Well, that may have been the case in the first 20 minutes, but in the second half, from Gibbs.
It's one of the few times we have seen a ball reversal for Louisville. You get that defense shifting. Every time you penetrate, punch, draw 2, kick, move the ball, reverse it, you're going to get open looks.
Stewart, just as
Gibbs is playing with, she just airballed a shot from the other side of the floor. Steps up and knows that she can knock it down, and does.
Now they're looking for a stop. Jefferson counters with a triple.
Jefferson started her ball game with a 3. Now knocks down a big one. It's just so tough every time, and Jeff Walls talked about it in halftime. You got to be able to score, and then you got to be able to get stops, and Jefferson has the answer.
Jefferson and Mosqueda Lewis with 3 triples apiece. Olsen directing traffic. Open little triangle on the left side. Now the shot clock winding down. The entry pass deflected. Stewart gets it anyways.